There's nothing louder than dead silence. It's unnerving. It makes you wonder what's coming. When my house gets silent, I get suspicious because it never is, even at night. There's usually a couple of audiobooks playing, cats running around, relaxing nature music playing, or the hum of overhead fans. When it gets silent during the day, I wonder, what are the kids up to? Or where did they go? When a texting conversation goes silent, I wonder, did I say something to make them stop responding? If I'm having an audio conversation with someone and it goes silent, well, then I ask a question or make a comment to keep it going because awkward pauses are just that, awkward. Did you know that a pause or silence between two people in America having a conversation gets uncomfortable after 4 seconds? Because we start to feel rattled, insecure, and rejected, according to a study from the University of Groningen in the Netherlands. We are so wired for constant stimulation and noise that our brains crave it. Then we get really uncomfortable when we have silence and even stillness. To further prove this point, I want to do an experiment. We're going to sit in silence for 30 seconds. As you sit there, you can keep your eyes open or close them. Pay attention to your body. Are you fidgety? Do you look to your watch or phone to see how long it's been? Can you focus on your breathing? Does it make you really uncomfortable? Does your mind start racing? Pay attention. We begin in 3, 2, 1. How was that experience? Did the time go fast, or was it the longest 30 seconds of your life? What did you think about, if anything? Were you able to still your mind, or did it jump all over the place? Were you able to keep your body still, or did you fidget the whole time? Did you start to fall asleep, maybe? I ask all these questions because sitting in silence and stillness is hard for most people to do. For some of us, it means that our minds start racing and we have to actually think about those things that we've been avoiding. For others, it's boring. And for still others, we legit don't know how to do it because sitting in silence is not something that's often taught. We're taught to be busy, always be doing something that contributes to society. And how does sitting in silence contribute to society? Well, more than we think it does. Not only have numerous research studies shown that taking time for silence and stillness have incredible health benefits, but we also hear from God of the importance of silence and stillness. From Psalm 46. God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Therefore, we will not fear, though the earth should change, though the mountains shake in the heart of the sea, though its waters roar and foam, though the mountains tremble with its tumult. There is a river whose streams make glad the city of God, the holy habitation of the Most High. God is in the midst of the city. It shall not be moved. God will help when the morning dawns. The nations are in an uproar. The kingdoms totter. He utters his voice, the earth melts. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge. Come, behold the works of the Lord. See what desolations he has brought on the earth. He makes wars cease to the end of the earth. He breaks the bow and shatters the spear. He burns the shields with fire. Be still and know that I am God. I am exalted among the nations. I am exalted in the earth. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge. In our focus text for this week, we find ourselves in the book of Psalms. The Psalms are prayers, songs, liturgies, and poems, many attributed to King David. The Psalms help us to be centered in worship and devotion, and they give us words for times when we can't always find the words. their praises and laments, instructions and histories. Psalm 46 is considered a trust psalm, expressing faith and confidence in God amid great difficulties, threats, and dangers. It tells of the dangers and threats a community is facing, the chaos that's all around them. Then it talks of this river whose streams make glad the city of God, showing God's presence, God's abundance, and blessing. The psalm continues on in naming the threats that people face, threats of war and violence. And then it speaks of God's great works, God delivering the people, God being with the people. And in Psalm 46, verse 10, we hear one of the most well-known verses in the Bible. Be still and know that I am God. Now, there are many ways we can read this verse. We can read it as a command to let go of our control, to stop trying to fix everything ourselves. We can read it as a command to trust God and God's power. And we can read it as a command to pause, to quiet our minds, to listen for God. Oftentimes in the Bible, God isn't making God's self known in the chaos. God makes God's self known in the silence, in the stillness. When we quiet the noise around us, we can hear where God is speaking. When we slow down from the fever of life, we can notice the things we missed as life was moving past us in a blur. Some people call it stopping to smell the roses. It's not even just simply taking a break, because we take breaks. But it is being intentional about stopping, listening, calming our minds, and taking a holy rest. For many people, this next week is the last week before school starts, before we go back to fall schedules and the busyness of life starts up again. And some of us may be exhausted already just looking at our calendars, and we wonder, where can I even schedule in time to breathe? And that's the thing, isn't it? We feel like all of those other things are so important that taking time to sit in quiet, to calm our minds, to breathe and listen and be still are a waste of time. But they aren't. It's in these moments that we notice things that are the most important. It's in these moments that we can breathe in God's presence and calm our troubled minds. And it takes practice. It's a spiritual practice that not many of us have actually spent a whole lot of time actually practicing. And maybe we do take the time to slow down sometimes, but then we're not still. Or, we listen to music still. So we still have noise going on. We have the TV on in the background. Try being still sometime without noise, without relaxing music, without the TV. See what happens to your mind when it's not distracted by the noises around it. Now, one of the beautiful parts of this psalm is the fact that God is present throughout the whole thing, even in the chaos and the war and the uncertainty. The people can see the works of God, and at the end, they're told to be still so that they can know God is God, so they can recognize beyond a shadow of a doubt that God is there. But God is always there. God is always there for us too. Sometimes there's just too much noise around us for us to recognize God. But even when we are afraid of the silence, even when we're distracted by the noise, even when we don't have time to stop and be still, God is there. God is our refuge and strength. Though the nations are in an uproar, though the kingdoms totter, the Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge. May we be still and know that God is God. This is the good news for today. Thanks be to God for it. Amen. a couple of reflection questions, as well as a challenge for you to go deeper into the message. The first reflection question is, when was the last time you were truly still, where you intentionally sat in the quiet and silence and simply existed, allowing yourself to breathe? The second is, how did the 30 seconds of silence feel to you? How might you engage in the spiritual practice of being still? And your challenge, if you wish to accept it this week, is to be intentional about being still in the quiet and listening for God. If this is something new for you, try being still for 2 to 4 minutes a day. At the end of the week, ask yourself what you've discovered about yourself and God during that time, and keep making it a spiritual practice.